Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Liz, your host here at Crimes Untold. And today we're going to be going to South Dakota. We're going to be talking about the murder of Naomi Cheney. So Lieutenant Naomi Kathleen Cheney was just transferred to a technical school in the AAF Command in Sioux Falls back in September of 1943. Yes, this is an old case, my friends. This was also during the time World War II was raging in Europe. So her body wouldn't be found until October 6th, 1943, and her body was discovered near a viaduct on that day. Blood and hair samples were found and taken into evidence as clues to potentially discover who killed her. Now keep that in mind, severely keep that in mind. October 5th of 1943, Naomi decided she wanted to visit a friend at the hospital. This was her roommate. After the visit had gone well, she would decide to leave and walk home in the dark. This was around 9 p.m. The following morning, she didn't show up for her normal shift that she had, and during a normal routine search for her, she was discovered to be missing, unfortunately. Gone. Nowhere to be seen. We would find her, but it would be later. So 10-year-old Valerie Hill was just walking in the woods looking for some sumac leaves, which when I read this, I was like, did you know that sumac is poisonous and it's actually people are allergic to it? But whatever. I mean, whatever suits your boat. This is a 10-year-old. I don't know. So she would continue to walk on a path and she saw something. This something wasn't moving. This something was a woman. But it wasn't some random woman. This was the missing Lieutenant Naomi Cheney. When the police arrive at the crime scene, they see this woman lying on her back, bloody and bruised. Her face and head in particular. Her cap that was on her head was just seemingly knocked off during the attack on her head. Her uniform wasn't touched, as was her purse. Wasn't touched either. This was found near her body with plenty of money in it still, so robbery was quick to be ruled out of question for a motive. During her autopsy, that was performed on the following day, so on October 7th of 1943, it was deemed that she died due to blunt force trauma. She suffered from traumatic brain injury and significant skull fractures. Multiple. There was no signs of rape. All motives were quickly ruled out. So she didn't also have a boyfriend and wasn't known to be dating anyone at the time of this murder. Yes, they looked into this, but she was not seeing anybody romantically. You remember that hair and blood that I mentioned? Yeah, it was found in a cabin nearby. The occupant, which is a 31-year-old farmhand, I have not found this person's name, just 31-year-old farmhand, was questioned in regards to what was found at the cabin and on him. So the tops of his shoes were bloody. He thought it was just jam and could only explain that the night of the murder he was seen vomiting outside of the cabin right after a woman was heard screaming. This is a very strange admittance of an alibi. I don't get it. Like, why are you vomiting? Why is somebody watching you? That's a big one. Why would you only have jam on the top of your shoes and not on the bottom of your shoes? Why are the bottom of your shoes clear? Yeah. The reason why I kind of asked that is because he said that there was jam on the ground, but how is it on the ground but only on the top of your shoes? It doesn't make any sense. So there was an official coroner's jury that was held to give an official rule for cause of death. In this jury, it housed two doctors. They had varying points of view. The first one is Dr. M. Garundo. He believed that her head was run over by a car tire, causing the distinct trauma. He also said that her vocal cords showed no signs of screaming, believed that she was intact, but believed that she wasn't murdered. Yes. The second doctor is Dr. O. Charles Erickson. He believed that the wounds were consistent with being attacked by someone in a prone position. Also believed that she was attacked with a blunt object or blunt instrument. Trauma could have been caused by being kicked in or about the head or by being stomped on as well. And he also believed that she definitely was murdered. So the jury ultimately would decide with Dr. Erickson, and her cause of death was ruled as a homicide/murder. This helped the fire and the cops to look further into the evidence they found. The blood. The blood they found was human and was the same blood type as Naomi. But due to the time and the lack of forensics analysis or analytic equipment at the time, 1943, they were unable to deduce if it was indeed Naomi's blood type or not. without a confession or definitive evidence implicating the cabin dweller, that man staying in the cabin, they have no leads. There was a last-ditch effort to speak with people from Des Moines, also from Georgia and Alabama. She's from Alabama originally, but nothing came of it. And unfortunately, the murder of Naomi Cheney is still unsolved to this day. So that, my friends, is another cold case for the United States. I hope you guys learned something from this. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.